Hey, how's it going, everyone? See, illustration by design. Welcome. I am starting to draw. Hmm. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Okay. Got some layouts right here. I already started doing a little bit of scribbling. Just kind of get the ball rolling. All right. Let's see if I can get this. Looks like everything's pretty good. There we go. So how's it going? Let's see, I'll zoom in a little bit. Hopefully the connection's a lot better than last time. Sunday it was. Okay, today's Monday, so it's yesterday. Man, I'm losing track already. Not to worry, I'll get out the ball here. See, no, this is going to be a Kickstarter reward sketch. We did a Kickstarter campaign for another book I was working on. It's called Time Cheetah, and so this is the second book, actually, our second Kickstarter. We had achieved our goal, so just giving some sketch rewards to people who help back us. And it's supposed to be just like a little black and white sketch, but I kind of went a little overboard, add some color in. Hey, Tomb, how's it going? See, right now, tonight, I should say, it's just me and Mikey. Let's see. Just taking a little. Just taking a little break. I'm sending Becky a quick update. See if she's actually. I know she's working on stuff right now too. So see if she's actually able to jump in. I'm gonna actually start doing live streams where I could have people jump in. Right now I can't. I kind of basically do everything on the mobile device, so I gotta get a new computer. I've been doing everything old school, man. Everything's analog. Hey, so do you guys know each other at all? Seems like a lot of guys in this little community, which seems to be growing actually. They seem like they're familiar with each other at least. See, I can't give them too big of ears here. Here I go. See this record sketch request. Let's see. Yeah, we'll try to get the Hangouts going when I get my computer. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna get a computer that way Mike can jump in, do some live stream, and he can actually do some screen shares. He's coloring, doing some digital colors for Agenda, our book with James Hudnall. Just in case anyone doesn't know. Yeah, you got it. Ghostbuster is they gave me a sheet with like a bunch of requests. I actually know the guy one of the backers, and he said do whatever I want, and I know he's a big Ghostbusters fan. He actually belongs to one of those Ghostbuster I don't know what you call it, where they're like a club, like chapters. They have different chapters in different states, and yeah, he belongs to one of those, so I think it's fitting that I do a Ghostbuster Time Cheetah Ghostbuster. Should probably get it. I'll get a reference for that emblem. Oh yeah, James, man. James is definitely doing a great creative writing series right now on his Esper 999. I'll have to put a link in the description later to his channel. I usually try to do that and to the agenda book. But yeah, he's done, I think he's done quite a few videos now, probably near a dozen videos on writing. He also has a book on writing. You can get on Amazon. That's cool. Yeah, tell your wife to check those out. Hey, Humphrey Bear too. How's it going, man? Glad you could drop in. Oh, that's cool. Good, good. Let's see. Get a little bit of a better angle on this. There we go. Got to get the I don't know what the proton pack that he wears, but I can't remember the name of the. Is it particle? Goliath particle positron accelerator. Is that what it is? Yeah, I had a couple of my videos got the boot because of music copyright, so I went back and checked to see which ones got the boot because of the music. I'll probably try to re-upload them with like a royalty-free music, but for now I'm just kind of avoiding those soundtracks I used. So hopefully this one's not gonna get booted because I've used it before and it seems to be okay. It's still up, I believe. We'll see. I'm sorry for kicking this around. Here we go. Let me zoom out a little. There it goes, a little better. The thingy that goes zap. It's funny, yeah, I'm actually using a Venkman, a picture of Bill Murray wearing the suit. But he did, I think it was at the MTV Music Awards or Kids' Choice or something, People's Choice, where he just showed up, like he's older and he showed up in his outfit, Ghostbusters outfit. Okay, I see a picture. I got a picture here with, come on, come on. With Ernie Hudson. And it's weird, he's older and he's got the whole suit on with the proton pack. Let's see. Oh man, it's tricky. Yeah, I think Venkman had the cigarette hanging out of his mouth as well, I believe, when he got slimed. Because he turns around, sees Slimer, the cigarette falls out of his mouth. I think, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it wasn't. Yeah, you're right, I think that was Ray. Dan Aykroyd turns around, cigarette falls out of his mouth, and he tries to shoot him. Then he slimes Venkman, who's like kind of like trying to sweet talk Slimer. Yeah, you know what? I had an idea for the whole movie reboot, how they could reboot it with the original cast, where it would be comedy, obviously, but there'd be a serious element to it. Like in my idea, I was thinking of having all the Ghostbusters are basically retired. They gave up ghostbusting because Egon was killed by a ghost. And so they gave up, and they're all kind of went their separate ways. But like Venkman, he runs into, he's like walking home with his groceries to his apartment in New York, and he sees down an alley something, and he sees uh, a ghost, and it realizes it's the same ghoul that killed Egon, and so he contacts Ray, who works at a supernatural bookstore. I think they did that where he's working before, so he's kind of working at one of those places. And then they try to get Ernie Hudson's character back into it, and to look, kind of get revenge on this ghost or ghoul that killed Egon. So, kind of like the whole gang gets back together for that purpose, and then of course they got to save the city somehow. But this thing is like a really dangerous, twofold objective. Yeah, it sounds a little serious, but you can still make it funny. Because think about it, I mean, the original Ghostbusters, I mean, they had these demonic entities that want to destroy the world, and they were possessing people that they knew and cared about, and still pulled off as pretty funny. But I mean, that's the only way I think go around the death of Egon. It had to be something like something killed him. Plus, these comedians are most comedians become comedians off of their life of tragedy. It seems like they always have some type of tragedy, and they have this way of using humor to deal with that real life trauma. That's a good one, actually. That would be one that would be everyone's dream, but it would never happen, unfortunately. That would be perfect, man. That would be good. I mean, I think that would have everybody laughing. Of course, it would trigger a lot of other people. Maybe not a lot, just a fringe group, but a very loud fringe group. Let's see. Okay. Man, this is the always tricky part for me on this laser zap gunny thingy. Oh, here we go. I got a blueprint. Good enough to fake it with. Yeah, that's a little dark. I take it you didn't like that movie. I never saw it. I couldn't bring myself to see it. I think it might be on Netflix. I don't know. I just can't see it. Like, I broke down and I saw the Star Wars movies, like Solo. I was against all those films, but I end up seeing them all on. I've seen all the new Star Wars films I've seen on Netflix. If it wasn't for Netflix, I wouldn't have seen any of them. Gotta keep moving that cigarette. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these, like every new film based off of all the old franchises, they've all been recommissioned and revitalized, not to make money, but to spread propaganda or use as a vehicle for political message. It's pretty horrible. I mean, even if you agree with the political message, it's still just that's the reason why you bring it back to use it for that purpose. Is it's horrible. I mean, every fan should be outraged, you know. But I think a lot of people who are okay with it aren't really diehard fans. Or just they didn't grow up with the films like the fans did. At least that's what it seems like to me. Yeah, this is tricky. Okay, wait. I got it. It looks like it's a box. And then it comes to a little bit of a This is a tricky thing. It was like a fishing rod. Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny is I'm able to, well, to an extent, I'm able to like separate the actors from the films. Like, for instance, I'm not a I'm not a big fan of Sean Penn as a person, but I think he's a good actor. I'm not even a big fan of movies per se. Of some movies he's been in I like, but same thing with Alec Baldwin. I think Alec Baldwin can be funny when he's like in different movies or a good actor in different movies. But yeah, as a person, I can't really stand that guy. He comes off as a big arrogant jerk. Like I said, that's even without any politics aside. It's like he just comes off as a jerk. I mean, when you're assaulting people on the streets, cursing at people, and he seems like a very angry guy, scary guy. But he's hilarious in a lot of different movies and shows, and like Glengarry Glen Ross. That's classic scenes with him. Let's see, I think I'm just gonna start inking this one again too. I better get the proton gun though, a little bit better. Man, that is tricky. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's funny when you really think about it. It's kind of funny how Hollywood people in Hollywood try to tell everyone else how they should live. You know, like there's some virtuous, uh, some virtuous group of people who are just it's like, we see all the drug use and affairs and all the stuff they're doing in Hollywood, and it's kind of sad. But whenever they mouth off, I mean, I don't take them seriously. Okay, I think that should be good enough. That's good enough. Okay, I'm gonna start inking the rest of this. Good old ink. This is a sticker from Time Cheetah. It's the Stalin AI, so the whole sticker says processors detect capitalism. Kami AI. Cartoon version as opposed to the real. Okay. Oh, and I've been doing some designs for one of the characters that's popping up in Agenda. I'll give you a quick look at some of the designs. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, Jim Carrey, that's right. Yeah, I didn't know the whole story about that, but yeah, I heard a little bit about that. I was like, whoa, gee, man. You don't really see, at least I don't see it on any front page of entertainment news. Yeah, it's funny is I was just talking about Bill today with Mikey, and it's funny. It's like because I was on a board where they were saying they don't like Bill his politics and a lot of the vile stuff he'll say about people that I know and that they know, and but one thing is like, you know, I don't like what he says. I don't like how he acts, but the guy's a good artist. He's a great artist. And they were saying on the board, they were saying how his art sucks, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like what he says or the things that he might do, but I'm not gonna say his art sucks because it doesn't. I like personally, I like his art, but stuff like that does discourage me from wanting to support those people and buy their stuff. I mean, I have to be honest, it does. It depends on, like I said, they're attacking people I actually know. The other actors, I guess, in movies, I don't know the actors they're attacking or the people, and if I do, then yeah, it does have an effect on me. I guess it depends on how far they take it, and then they lose my money. Yeah, most of the stuff I buy from Bill's work is mostly like a lot of the old back issues, like a lot of the New Mutants. I have a book that I just looked at today. I was pulled out. I got it. It's actually newer. It's actually no, it's old, but it's an old book they reprinted, and it's a buck. And this is John Buscema, and yeah, Bill inked it, and I love the combination, like, because I bought, what is it? He did a story about with David, um, Peter David wrote a Wolverine issue where it was about vampires, and John Buscema penciled it, and Sinkowitz inked it, and it was just like, yeah, I love that combination. But yeah, I'm not familiar with any of his new stuff. I mean, I guess like mostly back issue stuff, old stuff I get. Yeah, I know. I like looking at it, but I know what you mean. I'm the same way in that regard. Yeah, it can get tiresome being called something you're not. Oh no, it's funny is, well, it's not funny, but amusing to me is that I was on online and I got into some arguments with people who are calling, anybody right of left, call them a Nazi. Anybody who supports the president of the United States a Nazi. And then we had an actual Nazi come on the message board and start spewing stuff, and no one on the left, nobody engaged him. Nobody like put him in his place. Nobody said anything except for me. And an actual Nazi comes on board and starts saying all this stuff, all this rhetoric, and they just were quiet. But they attack people and call them Nazis if they don't agree with them on everything. And the truth is, it kind of shows you they really don't believe those people are Nazis. And it's because when they're confronted with the real one, then they're scared. They don't say anything. Of course, I went off on the guy, but here's some of the designs I was doing. I think I sent Tomb. I sent you a little copy of one. This is not something I'm using, by the way. This is just a direction I was going in. So that's not the final design. I'm kind of gearing towards a little bit more of that. Yeah, they really water down the meaning of the word Nazi. Same thing. Yeah, same thing with racist. I was about to say. Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of these people who throw those terms out, they really don't believe. It's kind of like when like a kid calls you doo doo head. They don't really believe your head's made out of doo doo, right? I mean, they're just trying to insult you, but they don't really believe it. But the thing is they're saying it over and over and over again. So there's people out there who are nuts, who believe everything. They're like, if someone's a Nazi, then hey, I can do whatever I want to them because they're the scourge of the earth, right? And yeah, this guy who was an actual Nazi, he wasn't shy about it. He doesn't hide in the. So I mean, if someone called him a Nazi, he just agrees, yeah, I am. And when he admits he's a Nazi, it's just silence. It's crazy. Yeah, it is simple-mindedness, man. Though. But yeah, yeah, I sent you a little image of my first initial sketch of the one of the characters from Agenda that's going to be appearing in the next pages I'm drawing. Let's see if I can find him. And I sketched out this initial one just to get a direction going. So this is not the final design at all. Just a little bit of a preview. So that was a little direction. And then I take it, I always have to start off with something, different directions. Like I said, then I went to that other one after that. Then I kind of started going through some helmet designs. So now I got one almost nailed down. So thanks, yeah, just influenced by old Japanese TV shows. Yeah, sometimes like for that character, I asked James, what kind of direction was he thinking of? I always want to figure out the directions the writer has in their mind, and sometimes I just leave it open to me. But I always want to pick their brain and see, okay, what should I start from? So James is a fan of Japanese old TV shows, and kind of like the Ultraman, and he said this character that he liked. And I can't even remember the name, but I went a little bit, I went online and used it kind of as like a starting point. Let's see, I'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. Don't smudge ink, I know. Yeah, last night it got a little messy. But it worked out. Like I told you, sometimes the smudges work out in your favor. Or at least they're not as bad as they initially appear to be. Let's see. Okay. Just trying to double check. Oh, thanks. Thanks to him. Yeah, I'm having fun with these. Hey, Tommy. How's it going? Oh yeah, I watched the EVS stream where he was stream sniping Mike. Those guys can be entertaining. And then he was on another guy's channel. Yeah, I think you're referring to another guy. Yeah, that one that Ethan went on another stream with the one who should not be named. I don't know. I'm not familiar with what's going on in that, but I heard that he went on a channel and the guy kicked him off. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a way to watch that stream? I mean, is that stream still up? Because I didn't see it, so I just keep hearing about it. I'm assuming that guy took it down. Cool. Oh, Mike trolled you, Tommy? I watched a little bit of it, like I said, that Ethan's stream, and I know people were going back and forth to Mike's cross examinations with, and then back to Ethan while he was watching. I don't know, it was entertaining, but I know I stayed out of it. I just to watch, but I'm a bystander, just watching, see him. Because I had no idea what was going on, really. And so I kind of just, I went on Twitter and kind of found out a little bit. And I watched a little bit of the video to kind of get updated. Cool. Yeah, thanks for sending the link. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Kevin, yeah. Oh, okay. Lots of bad language. Yeah, I think you're referring to Mike burning the, or we, I can't even say his name. Mike Rwingo. That piece. Yeah, I just found out a little bit of what was going on Twitter, and then I went to YouTube and found out. And then I saw the Ethan stream. So yeah, there's a lot of going on today. I think it sounded like everything. I caught a little bit of tail end of Mike's last stream he did. Yeah, John Malin and Cecil and all those guys on. Cecil. So it seemed like all was good again. All was right with the world. At least it was appeared that way. Yeah. Where Ringo? Where Ringo? I gotta say that a few times to get my. And it's a tongue twister for me for some reason. Where Ringo? Where Ringo? Let's see. Malin's gonna get Mike arrested one day. Oh man, yeah. It's funny. Malin always cracks me up when he's like on Drawn and Quartered. He comes up with some really good zingers, and he says it so deadpan. Yeah, he cracks me up. But yeah, what Ethan was saying cracked me up too. I mean, he's like, Malin's getting Mike in trouble. He's just. Oh, he had a few glasses of wine in him, huh? Yeah, Edwin, Edwin and Malin. Which one are you gonna listen to? The little Edwin on one side, or the little Malin on the other? That's a good one. That might be something I might draw. See, it's good that Joe and company are all kind of telling stories about. Let's see. You're talking about see, Tommy. Tommy, you're talking about Mike and John. Yeah, Mike walking around with two grown men on his shoulder. Now you gotta think cartoony, like the little Looney Tune cartoons. No, I've known. It's funny as I've known Mike for a few years now. Um, I met him at convention. Met him at a small convention in LA, Alpha and Omega Con. It's funny because Becky actually had a table there, so I didn't have a table. I was just helping her out, and I seen Mike there and talked with him. And then he belonged to a mutual Facebook group of professionals, and we would talk on there. I friended him on Facebook, and then John Malin, I think I knew him through the same group, but I didn't really get to know him until I got onto YouTube and became part of this group. But I've been working in comics since I don't even like to say how long now, too long, but I've been working in the industry early 2000s, doing some work for small publishers, and I did work for. It's funny, my first professional work was for a French company. Was for Humanoids Publishing, and I actually did a cover of the Inkle. It was like about the young John Defoe, the comic by Mobius and was it Alexander Jodorowsky, and yeah, that was my first professional work, the cover, and I did a short story for Metal Hurlant, which is like heavy metal. But then I started doing stuff for Double Stew Publishing and Boom Studios, and a lot of different commercial jobs like storyboards for animation, film. But the whole time I was always like going to conventions and meeting and getting to know comic book professionals. So I know a lot of different guys in the industry, and are friends with a lot of different guys because we have mutual friends. And you know how it is in comics, you just kind of one group of guys and they have friends who know another group, and you just kind of network that way. Let's see. Oh, Joe Q telling about the Ringo. See, I only know, I know Malin and Elliot, EVS. I only know them through the YouTube from the group. So a lot of those guys belong to the same group I was in. Mark Wade, I actually knew Mark Wade, not like really close or anything, but I like when I did work for Boom Studios, he was like head of the creative side of it. Um, and yeah, he contacted, like, he called me and asked me to do some work for. He was kind of like the recruiter. Like, they were pretty smart. They were like, they used Mark Wade to recruit people, because I mean, you get a call from Mark Wade and you're like, oh man, Mark Wade's calling me to do something. So you're kind of thinking you're gonna do something with Mark, and then he basically just kind of reins you in. He lassos you and gets you in, and they. But I got hooked up with like William Messner Loeb's on a short story, Zombie Tales, and then I hooked up with another guy that actually became a friend of mine, is a writer, Caleb Monroe. We did a mini series called Hunter's Fortune. But yeah, Mark Waid, I've seen him at parties, some of the professional parties you go to at Comic Con, and I remember Mark Waid got mad at me, like, where he emailed me because I was doing layouts and doing pages like Japanese style, and man, that just set him off for some reason. He was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, "What?" He didn't like the margins I was using. It was funny. I thought it was kind of funny. I just laughed it off. But he was like, "But yeah, they didn't. Those companies, man. I worked for American companies. They do not like manga style. I don't know if it's changed. I don't think it has, but it has a stigma." But it's funny, John Malin. He actually is from. He's from Michigan. That's where I'm from. So like my old stomping grounds. Like we're familiar. I'm familiar with where he where he lives or where he goes. It's pretty cool. I'm from Detroit area, by the way. Motown. Okay, lost connection there for a second, huh? Are they saying? Yeah. Um, I think, when you get online, and this, I mean, you get online and you start talking. I think people in general, they say things they normally wouldn't say to other people in person. It can get like really heated sometimes, and it's like, because all you're talking to is like text on a screen. You're talking to like an. It feels like you're talking to an AI. You're not talking to a person. And people don't temper their words. I don't think. This is what I think. They think they get too caught up in the moment. Because I know some comic book people that I know who I'm friends with offline, and I gotta say though, it does take a strain because they get so angry online that I just defriended them online because I'm like, I gotta do it or I'm not gonna be wanting to. Because I see them at conventions and I don't want to talk to them and I do talk to them when I see them. It's like I try to be, I can't be fake, so I just try to be myself, but you can tell there's some tension there. Not on my end, because I'm cool with people. I don't care if you think differently than me. But you can just sense the tension with them. Yeah, it gets weird, man. But yeah, I think social media has trained people not to treat people with the common courtesy you would in person. I mean, kind of get desensitized. I mean, I'm guilty of that sometimes. I just get heated on Facebook, and then now I learn when to walk away. Oh, really? So you guys you could not hear my Wade story? Maybe that's a good thing. Sorry about that. Shaking everything around. Yeah, Wade glitched the Matrix. Oh, that's cool. Dick Geyer's Signs trading card. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard. Like I didn't really know much about Mark Waid. I know his work, so when he called me, I was like, actually, I was driving to Del Taco, and I got the phone call, and I like just pulled up to the parking lot, and I was just like, I answered the phone, and he's like, yeah, this is Mark Waid, and I was like, what? And yeah, I was pretty psyched out because I was like, yeah, Mark Waid, what? And he was like trying to talk me into doing something with Boom, because I had been working with humanoids, and humanoids was having financial trouble, and so I was stuck. I had to pay rent, right? I had just moved to Las Vegas at the time, and so I had to get a part-time job on the Strip, and man, I was working there for a while. I got so used to it, you know. For a comic artist, you're working that you work at home a lot, and you're just kind of like in your own world, and when you finally get to see the outside world, meet people, you just kind of it's almost exciting. That wore off really quickly though, working in working in retail. But I did a book with. I worked a deal out with them. I said if they could pay me a certain page rate, then I would do. I would quit my job and do a book with them. I didn't tell them I quit my job. I didn't even tell them I was doing. I just said yeah, I'll do it. So I calculated. But yeah, he went off on me. um, it was on an email, so but he went off, and I was kind of like, what has he been out of shape about, man? I was like, it's kind of funny. Yeah, yeah. Tune basically. I was like, you know what? I worked at an electronics store on the Strip on Las Vegas Boulevard, and man, I had a lot of cool, funny stories, weird stories working there. A lot of crazy, a lot of weird situations. I mean, it's Vegas, and people are like kind of go a little nutsy, but I was glad to get out of there, man. The people were cool to work with, but management, I guess it's like the same with any place you work. Management, man, they made it harder, or just a place you didn't want to be. Um, but it actually gave me some story ideas, so I also write, so it gave me some inspiration. But yeah, man, I was like calculated if you could pay me X amount of dollars per page, I could quit this job and just make the same amount of money basically. So like, you know what? I wanted my out. I think I told you this before. I was like putting graphic novels on the shelf away, and like I actually knew the artists that worked on those graphic novels, and I'm like, here I am putting their books away, and I should be out there doing this. So yeah, that kind of got me back on the road doing books. Let's see. Ooh, don't want to smudge. No smudge. Let's go zoom out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, management, man. Because I gotta say, man, when I first started working at that place on the Strip, I was having a blast because I was meeting a lot of people from all over the world. I was like learning how to speak, like how to say, ask people what their name was in all these different languages because I like languages. And yeah, it was the first time I got to know, like there's a lot of, I worked with a lot of Filipinos, and I never really knew anything about the Filipino culture, so it was kind of a cool learning experience. And I made some good friends. Still friends with some of the people I work with today, even. And they actually are comic fans, so they follow my stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, good experience overall. Even though there's some weird stuff going on in Vegas. See, no smudge. Yeah, the languages. Like I learned how to say in Chinese, what's your name? That one is kind of tough to say, but I've kept practicing it, and I talked to some people who could speak Mandarin, and they said that it sounded like they could tell what I was saying. But I say for like, I think Mandarin, you say, 你叫什么名字? And then like, I learned how to, as a Bulgarian, you say, приятного умелтоса is the pool's name. And then of course, Japanese I was learning, and I'm still learning. I gotta get back to my studies. And Filipino, the Tagalog language. Philippines speak Tagalog, or Tagalog, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I make sure I ask the women how to say certain things because the men would always try to get you to say something you shouldn't repeat. Let's see. You don't care what they're saying. It has some really. The first week I worked there at the on the Strip, like one of the girls I knew, she was the head of security. She's from Hawaii, and she said, you know, at the beginning of like the training, she said if you don't have to help anybody, like if you hear anything, but if you hear someone in trouble with security, you know, we wouldn't mind a hand if we were in really trouble or anything like that. So I was working as a cashier in the front of the store, and it was a huge store, and I heard like screaming, and I went to go check because you know, it sounds like the girl I'm working with. And as soon as I got close to the door, I heard this more screaming, like a guy screaming, and I just heard this guy scream, "He's got a gun!" And like all these flood of people came running into the store, and people were diving on the ground, and I was like running backwards so I was trying to scope out where the gun was. So I'm running back away from the door backwards, and this girl grabs onto my arm, one of the cashiers, and she's like terrified, and everybody is just running, like leaving, and she's grabbing on my arm, and I'm like, my first thought was like, I can't run with her hanging on my arm here, so we like hid behind these shelves. And I told her to crawl on the bottom of the shelf, and she crawled on the bottom, and I kind of sat there, you know, ducked down with her, but I'm like, you know what, I gotta see. I could see top of people's heads running by the counter, and because I was still behind the counter, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta see what's going on here. I don't want to be sitting here and some gunman just walks up and takes me out while I'm just sitting there. So I just like peeked around the corner, but I had this whole paranoia of like, right when I look around the corner, there's gonna be a guy with a gun there blowing my brains out. So, so I finally did peek around the corner, and everybody was just on the ground, just dead silence. Nobody was saying anything, and people were like covering their kids up. And I got up, and this other kid from LA got up, and we were both walking around, the only ones walking around, and there's nobody there. And we're like, man, the guy must have took off. In the security, they took off, man. They were at the back of the store. They just ran full tilt. And yeah, I guess what happened was the girl was getting arrested or getting caught, shoplifter, and she was resisting. And the girl's boyfriend pulled up in a car in front of the store, jumped out of the car with a sawed-off shotgun, pointed right in my friend's face, and was like, "Let her go!" And so, man, she just took off like a track star. She's like 5'2" or something. She took off like whoosh, leading the pack. Because she said I had to get enough distance between me and that gun. That's all she had in her mind. And yeah, she got out of there. But during the commotion, people were like stealing, running out the back door with products and stuff. It was crazy. That was my first like couple weeks in. So some excitement. They said they actually used the video from that situation as training video for people who work there now. Oh, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I had, excuse me, I had a boss that I work with at that place, the same place in Vegas. He used to have a concealed carry, and and when he told me that, I was kind of like, oh, because he had this temper, man. I mean, it's funny, he would get mad, but he would make me laugh because how mad he would get. But he said, man, he was a pretty chill guy because I wouldn't make him mad, so he got mad at people acting stupid. So, but he got along with me. But he said, man, I had to get rid of my gun. I had to conceal carry because I was just like so close to blowing some guy's brains out because I was so angry. And when he said that, man, I was laughing so hard because I know this guy. He looks like a clean cut, you know, guy, you know, glasses, and but yeah, you could just tell. I mean, look in his eyes, like, yeah, this guy, he gets a little impatient. You definitely have to be you have to have like a nice temperament dealing with situations. I think, to get a gun. I would like to get one because I'm not like a gun aficionado. I'm for the Second Amendment, but I don't know. I don't want to end up relying on it too much, or I would like to get something just because I like the way they look. Like one of my friends is like, I'd like to get one, but I just have a fear that someone's gonna use it on me. Oh yeah, yeah. Shotguns, yeah, rifles. Oh, Australia. For the most part, you don't need to worry about a gun being drawn. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the U.S. is pretty safe. Um, it depends on where you live, obviously, but I lived in Detroit area, and yeah, I never had anybody robbed or rob anybody in my area with a gun or anything. But I have to say, in California here where I live, I've heard gunshots go off. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's definitely people with. Well, I live in an area I found out later after I moved that wasn't the best area, so we're planning on moving. But yeah, we're walking up the stairs with our groceries and we heard pop 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 pop, and I'm like, well, I got in the house really quick, and yeah, it was some gang thing. But like I said, in this area, I mean, I've never run into any problems with people. It's funny in California too that you'll have areas where they look really, really nice, and then like 2 blocks later, it's like it looks run down. It's weird. I don't know. I'm still kind of getting used to the dynamics, but okay. I think that's pretty much. I'm gonna call it done with this inking. But yeah, man. Like I said, I'm not against guns. I'm kind of like, I can see. I don't want any problems in my house with anybody else. If I don't have any kids, but if I had kids, I just kind of like wouldn't trust them messing around with it or. But I am for guns. That's for sure. I went shooting before. One of my friends' dads was a vet in Vietnam, and he took us to the firing range, and that gave me a healthy respect for weapons, for firearms, man. When I held that in my hand, I was like, wow, this is really serious. Like, I didn't play around because I always love action movies, I love shootout movies, and holding the gun really just yeah, gave me a healthy respect for weapons, firing those things off. Yeah, definitely. Like if I got a gun, I'd definitely take training, man. I'd want to be like an expert, because I take that seriously. I'd probably take some classes on how to handle myself with a gun. Oops, sorry, kind of out of frame here. Just adding in some black shadows with the brush here, ink brush. Let's see. Oh yeah, just not accustomed to seeing them. Yeah, I don't really see in the U.S. You don't really see anybody walking around with a gun, like open carry or anything. At least I usually don't. If I do, it's usually a police officer or a detective or security, but you never see anybody like citizens. I never see anybody walking around with a gun exposed. So yeah, only like once in my life I saw a guy who was not a police officer with a gun under his shirt on his pants, and he was not up to any good. That was just once though in my adult life. So yeah, some people grow up with guns too. So to them, it's just like owning a power saw or you know a power drill. It's like it's just a tool. They're so used to it. And some people are freaked out because, like you said, they never grew up around them. They see them in movies, and I can understand being freaked out though when you're around somebody who you don't know and you don't trust, and they have a weapon like that. It's kind of like, oh right, if I know the person, it probably makes me a little less nervous. Unless I really know them. Sometimes I don't want. I get nervous if they're holding a knife. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna erase some of this. Hopefully this ink is dry. I think it is. So get any smudges. I want to repeat of yesterday. There we go. Zoom out a little. See. Yeah, train your kids not to get near them. Yeah. I think it froze a little bit, so hopefully. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, you have to train your kids definitely to really have a healthy respect for the weapons. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you have to get used to them. You gotta learn. I believe in if you have a gun, you should be trained, like highly trained, how to handle them, how to clean them, how to store them. Yeah. I was reading some of you guys' comments. Yeah, you have a healthy experience for brawling. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have experience in that. My brother more so, Mikey. We got into fights as kids with different kids, and we usually watch each other's back. But Mike got into the most fights because we went to private school mostly. But when we went to public school, he was still in elementary, so he saw more action. And then junior high, for me, junior high was pretty bad. Um, it was felt like I was in a prison, like learning how to deal with like you know not getting shanked and all that stuff, watching your back, not snitching. Uh, yeah, it was. I was like the smallest guy, and so I had to learn how to use my wits. And sometimes I had a smart mouth. Like I couldn't. Like if someone made me mad, I'd say something. Like I made one kid said something. I just got smart, and the whole class laughed at him. And then I was like, oh great. And I just learned, okay, when you make some guy look like a fool, he's gonna be mad, but that means he's gonna be coming for you. So I kind of learned at a young age. I'm like, I was thinking prison like logic, like okay, but I was smarter than them, so I got away. Let's see. You bring your wife ever? That's good. What is she, a black belt or something? You ever see that movie with, was it Ong Bak movie? Where that guy that he goes to fight, he beats all these guys up, and then this dude, his fighting style is to throw everything in the room at him. He throws, it's hilarious. He's throwing chairs, tables, plates. Okay, see, what time is it? What time is it? It's 12:38. Huh. I think I might. It's getting late. Hey, Mike, you think I should call it quits? I finished the inks on this. Here, I'll show Mikey real quick what I did.
Yeah, it's already 12:38.
Yeah, it's getting a little late. At least I finished the inks on this thing. Boom. I'll post up the finished watercolors on my Twitter, and I'll probably show it on my next live stream. I'll show the finished colors. It's gonna be just real simple. I'm not gonna go crazy on it. Just a little quick wash. Hey, thanks guys. Thanks Illustration by Design. Yeah, I'm gonna get my warm milk. And Mike's gonna tuck me in. Mikey's gonna tuck me in.
What?
He said to him, said, yeah, get your warm milk and Mikey can tuck you in.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay up.
I already had my cookies yesterday that Becky made. Peanut butter cookies.
Yeah, I OD'd on those.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike overdid it. He said he didn't feel too good after. But yeah, you guys, if you could like the video before it ends. And thanks for stopping by too. I'm glad you guys got to stop by and chat, man. It's always entertaining and good. Hear what you guys have to say. I like your responses. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a couple more of these. I got I got 2 more to draw out. So 2 more time cheetahs. So yeah, thanks guys for stopping by. Just yeah, like the video and stop by next time. Hope to see if you're free, and I will live stream again. See, tomorrow's Tuesday. I'll try to do it Tuesday as well, and then Wednesday I might be on Drawn and Corded. We'll see. And then Friday I might also be on Mike Miller's channel, Blacklist Universe, for that art auction. So we'll see how crowded it gets. So I might try to get in and jump on there. But Tuesday I should be doing a live stream. I'll do another time cheetah. So hey Jed. Oh, you're new, man. Well, welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, I was about to end it. But yeah, if you could check it out, I'll be here tomorrow. I'll try to do a little bit earlier. So hopefully that'll be better for you guys too. Kind of jumped on late. I think I jumped on about 10:30. So, but it's been about 2-hour stream. Or a little bit less maybe, but yeah, I'm glad you guys got to stop by, man. I will see you all later. Night Jed, thanks for stopping by. Tommy, Humphrey Bird, Illustration by Design, Tomb, and whoever else may be listening and watching. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you all later. I'll let everybody say goodnight before I turn off the stream. And oh yeah, I'll show quick while you're all saying your goodbyes. A little bit of the other, that's the one I did that the Step Brothers influenced cover. Supposed to be a little portrait. Captain Britain. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I will talk to you later. Have a good night. Night all. Aloha.